In this video, you're going to learn the 3 most common tricks that hackers are using today to break into your website. And you're also going to learn how to stop them. But first, some scary stats. The team at SolidWP approached me to make a video about their Solid suite of products, which does security backups and management. Now, this is a sponsored video, so I'm not going to do a review or express my personal opinions. And anyway, I thought it'd be far more interesting to hire a hacker and watch them try to break in to a WordPress website. So I scoured the internet to find the best hacker I could until eventually I found Ryan Dewhurst, formerly the founder of WP Scan, which was acquired by Automatic, the parent company of WordPress.com. WP Scan looks for WordPress vulnerabilities, and Ryan probably knows more than anyone else in WordPress about how to protect your website from hackers. Ryan now works as an ethical hacker doing secret things. I asked Ryan to try and break into a WordPress website without solid WP protection, and then to try and break into a website with solid WP protection. There was only one problem. Ryan lives in Malaga, so there was only one thing for it. I started off by asking Ryan what were the top 3 reasons that WordPress websites get hacked.
So ensure that you're using a secure password, not just admin or admin password.
And this is how a hacker would work out your password.
We didn't used to have this back in the day, but nowadays, since there's been so many website breaches, we know the type of passwords that people are using. Before we were just guessing.
Okay.
And there's been so many breaches nowadays that we can compile a list of previously breached websites and use those websites.
What's next on the list, Ryan?
To keep WordPress up to date.
Yeah.
That includes WordPress Core.
Yeah.
Especially the plugins.
Yeah.
And also the themes.
Yeah. I should probably say at this point that I was actually holidaying with my wife Rosie and took time out from the holiday to meet up for an afternoon with Ryan to talk about security. You can probably imagine how that went down. And I'd also like to point out that my trip wasn't all beer and beautiful sunshine. We'll get to the 3rd way that hackers try and break into your website in a minute. But first, here's Ryan trying to break in to an unprotected website.
I'm going to be using a tool called WP Scan, which is a command line interface tool to hack into this website. We're going to first find which plugins are installed on this website. So here's a command I put together earlier. So here we are passing the URL that we want to hack into. So we just press enter here and WP Scan will start. It will first do some miscellaneous tests here, such as looking at different security issues that could affect the WordPress website. So we can see that it detected the PHP version, for example, which may be useful to attackers if it's a very old version, for example. We are enumerating the version of WordPress, which can sometimes be also useful if it's an old version. It's enumerating the vulnerable plugins, so plugins that it knows have vulnerabilities associated to them. As you can see here in the WP Scan database, there are 7,343. This takes a little time to complete, so you need to check each one of those against the website. And it's just doing some additional checks here, and now the results have been output. So it identified that the pop-up builder plugin was installed, and it's telling me that the version is out of date, that the latest version is 4.2.7, and it has found 3 vulnerabilities associated with this plugin: in unauthenticated cross-site scripting vulnerability, server-side request forgery, and another cross-site scripting vulnerability there. So by running WP Scan, we've managed to find that this WordPress website has a plugin installed which has known vulnerabilities. So an attacker could easily follow one of these links here, get further information regarding how to exploit the vulnerability, and then exploit the website. In this video, we're not going to exploit the plugin. Instead, we're going to now take a look at maybe an easier method to hack this website, which is by looking at seeing if there's any weak passwords or users with weak passwords. So again, we're going to use the WP Scan tool for this. We want to pass the URL, just like we did before. We're going to say we want the admin username, and we're going to pass a list of passwords. So I previously saved a list of passwords here. So just to go over that again, we've got the URL, we've got the username that we want to try to guess the password of, and we have a password list here of around 1,000 passwords. So now let's run that. Scan starts up. And now we can see here at the bottom that it's cycling through those 1,002 passwords quite quickly, as you can see, to try and guess the correct password. Let's see if it's successful. As we can see here from the output, it says success, username admin, password Bob. And we've also got here, this says a valid combination was found, username admin, password Bob. So let's just try that on the admin panel and just see if that is correct. So username admin and password Bob. And as you can see, we've managed to log into the WordPress admin panel here, which then an attacker can do all sorts of nefarious things, such as installing further backdoors, installing a secondary admin user, which they can then just log into the website whenever they want, undetected potentially. And they can install malware, crypto miners, many different things.
And here's Ryan trying to break into a website that's been protected with SolidWP.
So we're going to use the SolidWP Pro plugin, and we're going to go through the settings here. It's going to go through these quickly for the sake of the video, but if you're setting this up for your own website, I recommend that you take your time. Go through these settings because they're quite important. Just save the initial settings there. Now I'm going to go through just a bit of additional setup here just to be 100% sure that our attacks are going to be prevented. So I'm going to enable two-factor authentication, which means that the user has to use a token to log in as well as their password. And I'm also going to disable the WordPress API, which WP Scan uses for password brute forcing in some cases. So let's go back to WP Scan and run the password brute force attack again. We see here we have the URL, the username that we want to guess the password for, and the list of passwords there. So we'll run the WP Scan tool, give various output, and then it'll try to brute force the password. As you can see from the output, WP Scan says that no valid passwords were found, so the attack in this case was unsuccessful. The two things that prevented this attack was disabling the WordPress API. Just be careful when you do disable it, because it does have legitimate use cases. And we also enabled two-factor authentication, which vastly increases your user security by ensuring that they have to put in code, which can either be emailed to them or they can use an application on their phone. So as we can see, the plugin SolidWP Pro prevented the WP Scan brute force attack, and now the site is safe from this type of attack.
So with the WP Solid plugin installed, Ryan wasn't able to break into the website. And here is the third reason you should think about installing a security plugin.
To summarize, it was keeping WordPress up to date, having secure passwords. And the third thing is, this is more optional. If you do those two things, you're 90% secure. If you want to go the extra mile, is installing a security plugin. And that's sort of going to cover the areas which don't cover those two things. There's like an additional hardening of your security.
And what would that, what extra stuff would something like that give you?
So it would do things like try and prevent password brute forcing in the first place.
Okay.
So even if you've chosen a weak password, security plugin would usually prevent someone from trying to guess it.
And how would it do that technically? What's happening?
So there are a number of ways of doing it. The best way, in my opinion, is implementing a captcha system. So if a user tries an incorrect password, say 3 times, it will then display a captcha system which the attacker has to bypass, which is not very bypassable nowadays. Other things security plugins do is block access to the XML RPC interface.
Just explain what that is, as if I'm 5.
The WordPress XML RPC interface is an API. It allows other software to talk to WordPress, basically. And what it does is it's just an extra door that WordPress has, which is usually locked. But hackers have found bypasses in the past. And what a security plugin does is just block that, so hackers can't get in that way. And there are many other things WordPress security plugins do, for example, implement a firewall.
Okay.
So they block malicious attacks before they even reach your WordPress website.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely worth it as an add-on to cover your own back. If you do the first two things properly, you're going to be pretty much secure. If you wanted that additional security, I'd definitely recommend a security plugin.
You might be sitting there thinking, well, why do people hack websites in the first place? So I asked Ryan. And what's the reason people are hacking into websites? Do you understand the psychology of it?
A lot of it nowadays is, from what I believe it's crypto mining. So they'll install crypto miner on the web server to use the web server's resources to mine cryptocurrency. That's what I've been seeing recently. There's many other reasons, hacking competitors, a lot less nowadays for the fame of doing it. Like if you hack NASA.gov, as a hacker, that's going to put you.
How would you share that in the hacker community? How would you get kudos as a hacker if you did that? Where would that happen?
Nowadays, it's a lot on Twitter. Anonymous Twitter accounts. There's also the dark web. There's many hacker forums where people show off their hacks.
You can buy the whole SolidWP suite for $199, but you can also buy each of the 3 individual components separately if you want to. A big thank you for Ryan for his time. It was fascinating to find out all about the hacking world, which I knew nothing about before I met him. So thank you, Ryan. Also, a big thank you to SolidWP for sponsoring this video. And thank you to you for watching it. If you can hit the like button down below now, it'd be fantastic because it helps spread the video around the internet. And also, every time you do hit that like button, our cats get a little treat. A reminder that in a few weeks, we've got another exciting WordPress speed build coming up, this time with Richard Tabor and Jonathan Jernigan. Check out that one. It's going to be incredibly exciting. To see a previous one, click here. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Keep well. Bye for now.